Okay, welcome everybody to Monday, April 20th guided meditation. And today we're going to do one on being open to forgiving or being open to letting things go. Now, this is not to say that you don't have to, first of all, jump to the most worst wrong that's ever happened to you. But forgiveness isn't about letting someone off the hook, or letting things go aren't about the things may have been unfair. It's really a practice for yourself to let go of any tension you may be holding, let go of any sort of drag on your mental and emotional resources. And that's why we do it. There's a lot of science that says the power of forgiveness is very freeing, and it's for the person doing the forgiving, not necessarily the offending party. So let's dive into it. I'd like you to sit or lie down and take as comfortable and as relaxed a posture as you can. We'll settle in for a minute or so before we dig into it. We'll just take a few big, deep, calming breaths. Settle in. Maybe you feel the weight of the body on the chair, your back on the floor, your feet on the floor if you're sitting. Just take a minute just to arrive, just to be present for today's meditation. Put everything aside for just a few minutes. And today we're going to focus on sensations in the body, particularly sensations around the heart and in the chest area, because that's where we tend to hold a lot of our emotional feelings or the emotional sensations. Before we get started, if anything does become too intense, just bring your attention back to your feet gripping the floor or the air entering and exit your lungs. And just notice what happens to the sensations in your chest, around your heart, when you hear the word forgiveness. You might have a very strong reaction, you might have no reaction at all. There's no good or bad here, it's just your personal reaction. When we hold on to things, when we resent someone or something happen, and that can even be our own actions and our own failing to act, we just create blocks. We create blocks in our mental thinking. We can hold a lot of tension in our body. And what we're going to do today is just be open to the idea of forgiving or letting go. Now your brain might want to run away with the story. That's totally normal. What we're going to do is just focus on the sensations as we repeat to ourselves, I let it go. I let it go. Again, you don't have to pick the strongest thing you're holding on to. You can pick something quite light and you can build up to it. What's more is we're considering the spirit of letting go, relaxing, and being open. Putting down any tension, any baggage, so we can have more enjoyment and more opportunity, more possibility. You can just gently repeat as often as you'd like, I let it go. And if you're not ready to letting it go, again, that's perfectly okay. You could say, I'm open to letting it go. You could add in another qualifier like, someday, maybe I'll be open to the possibility of letting it go. Little by little, we're just reducing that internal tension. Remembering this is just for us. This is for our own health, our own well-being. Again, if it gets too intense, if the sensations get too intense, it's perfectly normal. Bring yourself back to the sensation of the feet on the floor, the air in the lungs, maybe the sensations in your hand. And if you're ready and if it's right for you, then you can go back to the sensation in your chest, around your heart center. And if you want to and you're ready to go a little bit deeper into the practice, try repeating, I forgive you. Doesn't matter who comes up. Doesn't matter when it occurred. It's for you. Or I'm open to forgiving you. Whatever words feel right for you. That's the important thing. The intention to open. Maybe just a little bit. We're not dealing with the story, who was right, who was wrong, what could have done differently. We're just dealing with the sensations and improving our health. That's why we're doing it. We're opening up, we're letting go, we're forgiving. It's incredibly freeing, it's incredibly powerful. Even if you don't feel anything different right now. Before you finish up, just before we open our eyes, just take a little moment to acknowledge the bravery in trying that and the strength it takes to forgive and how you've built up your own bravery, your own strength, and built yourself up by even just attempting this practice. And be a little bit prouder of yourself. But now we'll bring our attention back to the breath, back to the body. And on your next exhale, if your eyes were closed, feel free to open them. Little by little, we can open up. We can feel better about ourselves, better choices, and a better future. By little, forgiving and letting go of what's been bothering us. There's no rush. There's no timeline. There's no amount you need to forgive or let go on a given day. But it's a very powerful practice, and thank you so much for taking part in it today, guys. If you liked it, leave a little comment. And if you didn't like it, you can leave a comment too as well. Thanks, everyone.